Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, good evening. This is AM 138 Production and Operation Management with Skills Development Case List and Cases. This is presented by Joji Andoyo. In this chapter 3, we're going to tackle about introduction and meaning, objectives of material handling, principles of material handling, selection of material handling equipments, evaluation of material handling system, material handling equipments, guidelines for effective utilization of material handling equipments, and also relationship between plant layout and material handling exercises and skill development. Okay, what is material handling since this is our topic? According to Haynes, he defines it. Material handling embraces the basic operation in connection with the movement of bulk, package, and individual products in a semi-solid or solid state by means of gravity, manually, or power-actuated equipment, and within the limits of individual producing, fabricating, processing, or service establishment. Its functions is dealing with the preparation, placing, and positioning of materials to facilitate their movements or storage. Moreover, material handling is an art of science involving the movement, handling, and storage of material during different stages of manufacturing. Okay, so in 3.2, we have objectives of material handling. First, minimize cost of material handling. Second, minimize delays and interruption by making available the materials at the point of use at right quantity at the right time. Third, increase the productive capacity of the production facilities by effective utilization of capacity and enhancing productivity. And four, safety and material handling through improvement in working condition, maximum utilization of material handling equipment, and prevention of damages to the materials, lower investment in process inventory. Okay, in 3.3, we have principles of material handling. First is we have planning principle. All handling activities should be planned. And number 2, systems principle. Plan a system integrating as many handling activities as possible and coordinating the full scope of operation, receiving, storage, production, inspection, packing, warehousing, supply, and transportation. And third, space utilization principle. Make optimum use of cubic space. And fourth, we have unit load principle. Increase quantity, size, weight of the load handled. And fifth, gravity principle. Utilize gravity to move the material wherever practicable. And this is the continuation of principle. Material flow principle. Plan an operation sequence and equipment arrangement to optimize material flow. 7. Simplification principle. Reduce, combine, or eliminate unnecessary movement and or equipment. 8. Safety principle. Provide for safe handling methods and equipment. 9. Mechanization principle. Use mechanical or automated material handling equipment. And 10. Standardization principle. Standardize method, types, size of material handling equipment. And 11. Flexibility principle. Use methods and equipment that can perform a variety of task applications. And number 12, equipment selection principle. Consider all aspect of material move and method to be utilized. 13, dead weight principle. Reduce the ratio of dead weight to payload mobile equipment. 14, motion principle. Equipment designed to transport material should be kept in motion. 15, idle time principle. Correct me if I'm wrong about the pronunciation. Reduce idle time, unproductive time of both MH equipment and manpower. And 16, maintenance principle. Plan for preventive maintenance or scheduled repair of handling equipment. 17, obsolescence principle. Replace obsolete handling methods equipment with more efficient methods. Equipment will improve operation. And 18, capacity principle. Use handling equipment to help achieve its full capacity. Control principle. Use material handling equipment to improve production control, inventory control, and other handling. And the last one, number 20, performance principle. Determine efficiency of handling performance in terms of cost per unit handled, which is the primary criterion. Okay, here is the 3.4 selection of material handling equipment. First, properties of the material, whether it is solid, liquid, or gas, and in what size, shape, and weight it is to be moved, are important considerations and can already lead to a preliminary elimination from the range of available equipment under review. Similarly, if a material is fragile, corrosive, or toxic, this will imply that certain handling methods and containers will be preferable to others. So I don't need to expound it to all of you since it is very easy to understand. And number 2, we have layout and characteristics of the building. Another restricting factor is the availability of the space for handling. Low-level ceiling may preclude the use of hoist or cranes, and the presence of supporting columns in awkward places can limit the size of the material handling equipment. If the building is multi-stored, chutes or ramps for industrial trucks may be used. And third, production flow. If the flow is fairly constant between two fixed positions that are not likely to change, fixed equipment such as conveyors or chutes can be successfully used. And we have fourth, cost considerations. This is one of the most important considerations. The above factors can help to narrow the range of suitable equipment, while costing can help in taking a final decision. Several cost elements need to be taken into considerations when comparisons are made between various items of equipment that are all capable of handling the same load. Initial investment and operating and maintenance costs are the major costs to be considered. And number 5, nature of operation. Selection of equipment also depends on nature of operations, like whether handling is temporary or permanent, whether the flow is continuous or intermittent, and material flow pattern vertical or horizontal. We have number 6, engineering factors. Selection of equipment also depends on engineering factors like door and ceiling dimensions, floor space, floor conditions, and structural strength. So I don't need to elaborate it more to all of you since it is very easy to understand. And number 7, we have equipment reliability. I'm sorry. The equipment and supplier reputation and the after-sales service also plays an important role in selecting material handling equipments. Okay, here the 3.5. Malayo-layo pa po tayo. We have evaluation of material handling system. Excuse me po. The cost factors include investment cost, labor cost, and anticipated service hours per year, utilization and unit load carrying ability, loading and unloading characteristics. Operating cost and the size requirements are the factors for evolution of material handling equipment. Choices of equipment and organization will improve the material handling system through work study techniques. They usually result in improving the ratio of operating time to loading time through palletizing, avoiding duplicative movements, etc. Obsolete handling systems can be replaced with more efficient equipments. Okay, so we have this equipment utilization ratio. So I'm not very much familiar with this, so I will only read this one, and maybe our instructor will be the one to expound this to all of us. Equipment utilization ratio is an important indicator for judging the materials handling system. This ratio can be computed and compared with similar firms or in the same over a period of time. In order to know the total effort needed for moving materials, it may be necessary to compute. So material handling labor or MHL ratio, this ratio is calculated as under. So we have here the MHL or materials handling labor equals personnel assigned to materials handling over total operating workforce. In order to ascertain whether it is the handling system delivers materials work centers with maximum efficiency, it is desirable to compute direct labor handling loss ratio. The ratio is DLHL equals material handling time lost labor over total direct labor time. Okay, so 3.6 material handling equipments. Broadly, material handling equipments can be classified into two categories, namely fixed path equipments and variable paths equipments. Fixed paths equipment which move in a fixed path, conveyors, monorail devices, chutes, and pulley drive equipments belong to this category. A slight variation in this category is provided by the overhead crane, which, though restricted, can move materials in any manner within a restricted area by virtue and its design. Overhead cranes have a very good range in terms of hauling tonnage and are used for handling bulky raw materials, stacking, and at times palletizing. And letter B, variable path equipments. Variable path equipments have no restriction and the direction of movement, although their size is a factor to be given due consideration. Trucks, forklifts, mobile cranes, and industrial tractors belong to this category. Forklifts are available in many ranges. They are maneuverable and various attachments are provided to increase their versatility. Material handling equipments may be classified in 5 major categories. First, we have conveyors. Conveyors are useful for moving material between two fixed workstations, either continuously or intermittently. They are mainly used for continuous or mass production operations. Ended, they are suitable for most operations where the flow is more or less steady. Conveyors may be of various types, with rollers, wheels, or belts to help move the material along. This may be power driven or may roll freely. The decisions to provide conveyors must be taken with care, since they are usually costly to install. Moreover, they are less flexible, and where two or more coverage, it is necessary to coordinate the speed at which the two conveyors move. So here is the picture here. So the picture that you have seen there is a conveyor. So as you can see, this kung makita nyo ito, yung parang paggawaan ng sardinas, meron silang conveyors kasi they have a mass production. Yung paggawaan ng mga soap, mga lotion, kahit ano, as long as may mass production, meron silang conveyors. Next is we have industrial truck. Yung industrial truck, industrial trucks are more flexible and used than conveyors, since they can move between various points and are not permanently fixed in one place. They are therefore most suitable for intermittent production and for handling various sizes and shape of truck, petrol-driven, electric, and hand power, and so on. The greatest advantage lies in the wide range of attachments available. This increases the truck's availability to handle various types of shapes and material. Okay, so this is different from the prior, which is conveyors. Kasi yung conveyors, nasa isang lugar lang siya, in a particular place. Hindi siya pwedeng ilagay sa kabila, kasi kailangan siya ng yung meron talaga siyang particular place. Kaysa sa industrial trucks, pwede siya kahit saan. Then, nakaka-move siya. Kailangan niya mag-move, dapat malaki yung range niya, or yung yung space niya dapat. And then, yung industrial trucks, we can see it in yung tagabuhat ng mga naka-cartoon na product. Kasi may mga bagay na hindi talaga kaya ng tao. Although kaya siya ng tao, pero hazard kasi siya masyado. Kaya meron tayong industrial trucks. Next, we have cranes and hoist. The major advantage of cranes and hoist is they can move heavy materials through overhead space. However, they can usually serve only a limited area. Here again, there are several types of crane, the hoist, and within each type, there are various loading capacities. Cranes and hoist may be used both intermittent and for continuous production. So, yung cranes and hoist, minsan ginagamit din ito nila yung pagbubuhat ng mga heavy equipments kasi di talaga yung kaya ng tao. So, yung cranes and hoist, sila yung bahala dyan. But with the operation also, with the help of human being, kasi tayo yung tao or yung worker, siya yung mag-ooperate ng isang machine para gumana yung cranes and hoist. We have number 4. So, this is very known to us. Containers. These are either dead containers, example cartoons, barrels, skids, pallets, which hold the material to be transported but do not move themselves, or live containers, example wagons, wheelbarrows, or computers, self-driven containers. Handling equipments of this kind can both contain and move the material and is usually operated manually. So, nakikita niyo yung containers. So, dyan nilalagay yung mga katulad ng mga cartons, mga barrels. Kasi, kailangan kasi sa material handling may particular, or kailangan talaga may kanya-kanya silang lalagyan. Halimbawa yung computer set, 'di ba? Hindi siya pwede ilagay kung kahit saan at ilagay dun sa mga liquidize. So, computers can be consider as fragile. Kasi pag nasira yun, di na siya, wala na siyang wala na siyang purpose, hindi na siya magpa-function. So, kailangan siya naka-containers, meron siyang sariling lalagyan para safe po siya. And we have robots. Many types of robot exist. They vary in size and function and maneuverability. While many robots are used for handling and transporting material, others are used to perform operation such as welding or spray painting. An advantage of robots is that they can perform in a hostile environment such as unhealthy conditions or carry on or are those tasks such as the repetitive movement of heavy materials. So, yung robots, minsan nakikita natin sila sa paggawaan ng phone. Kasi sa phone although may may function din ng mga tao. Pero kailangan talaga yung robots doon. Kasi may mga function sa loob ng phone natin na hindi nagagawa ng tao, only robot. Kasi pag yung tao yung gumawa nun, nag-perform nun, matagal yung process. Kaya robot na yung gumagawa para mas papadali. And also, not just sa phone, yung mga kotse, may mga bagay na robot yung gumagawa kasi mas napapadali siya. Kaya nga, nakakatakot yung time na dumating yung hindi na tayo kailangan ng tao. Hindi na kailangan ng tao kasi may robot na kayang gawin ng lahat ng bagay. So, yun. Sana, hindi yun dumating. And the last is 3.7 guidelines for effective utilization of material handling equipments. First is we have, I need to move it. As materials handling adds no value but increase the production cycle time. Eliminate handling wherever possible. Ideally, there should not be any handling at all. Second, sequence the operations in logical manner so that handling is unidirectional and smooth. Use gravity wherever possible as it results in conservation of the power and fuel. Standardize the handling equipments to the extent possible as it means interchangeable usage, better utilization of handling equipments, and lesser spares holding. And next we have, I need to move this. Install a regular primitive maintenance for material handling equipments so that downtime is minimum. In the selection of handling equipments, criteria of versatility and adaptability must be the governing factor. This will ensure that investment in special purpose handling equipment are kept at a minimum. And 7, weight of unit load must be maximum so that each handling trip is productive. Number 8, work study aspect such as an elimination of unnecessary movements and combination of processes should be considered while installing a material handling system. And number 9, again, I need to move this. Number 9, productive operation in handling such as slinging, loading, etc. should be kept at a minimum through appropriate design of handling equipment. Magnetic cranes for scrap movement, unloading, and furnaces, combination of excavators and tripper for ores, loading and unloading in mines are example in this respect. And number 10, location of stores should be as close as possible to the plant which uses the materials. This avoids handling and minimizing investment in material handling system. And 11, application of OR techniques such as queuing can be very effective in optimal utilization of materials handling equipments. Number 12, a very important aspect in the design of the material handling system is the safety aspect. The system design should be simple and safe to operate. And number 13, avoid any wasteful movements method. Study can be conducted for this purpose. And number 14, ensure proper coordination through judicious selection of equipment and training of workmen. And we have relationship between plant and layout material handling. There is a close relationship between plant and layout and material handling. A good layout ensures minimum material handling and eliminates rehandling in following ways. First, material movement does not add any value to the product, so the material handling should be kept and at minimum through not avoided. This is possible only through the systematic plant layout. Thus, a good layout minimizes handling. Okay. And And number 2, the productive time of workers will go without production if they are required to travel long distance to get the material, tools, etc. Thus, a good layout ensures minimum travel for workmen, thus enhancing the production time and eliminating the hunting time and traveling time. And number 3, space is an important criterion. Plant layout integrates all the movements of men. Movements of men, material through a well-designed layout with material handling. And number 4, good plant layout helps in building efficient material handling system. It helps to keep material handling shorter, faster, and economical. A good layout reduces the material backtracking, unnecessary workmen movement, ensuring effectiveness in manufacturing. Thus, a good layout always ensures minimum material handling. The end. Thank you for listening and have a good day.
Chapter 4, Material Management. Material management is the planning, organizing, and controlling of the flow of material from its initial purchase stage through internal operation of distribution of finished goods. So, it is the management of materials, which is industrial undertaking, because the objective is to cost reduction and efficient handling the materials in all stages and all sectors to distribution of finished goods. Then, they have the measures concerned about the management. First, purchase, transportation, including incoming or outgoing na mga input or outputs. Control through production. Inventory management includes receiving, storing, shipping, material handling, inventory, and counting, and lastly, warehousing and distribution. Next is activities involved in material management. First, material planning and control encompasses of sales forecast and production plans. The material and planning control is done. So, comprise siyan ng isa ka production ng planning, kumbaga, yaan yung tig-control, daun-unon pag-distribute ng isa ka product na on kanilan. Okay? Para ma-proper distribution kibali nila niyang kanilang mga outcome. Purchasing, the source of supply finalization in terms of purchase, placement and purchase orders, follow-up, maintenance of smooth relation with suppliers, approval of payments to supplier, evaluating and rating suppliers. So, basically, when we purchase, they need to finalize all the product, the items that we will provide to the customer, that they will have good relationship between the owner or the distributor of the product. Stores management involve physical control of materials. Siyempre, they need to control all the materials that we have. Preservation of stores. Basically, we need to preserve the store, sanitize everything that they will not give us hazardous. Minimization of obsolescence and damage, untimely disposal, efficient handling. Maintenance of the store records, proper location, and stocking. So, para isa maiwasan natin yung mga damages ng isa ka product, ma-maintain nato yung records ng isa ka store na ma-manage nato ng madayaw. Inventory management generally refers to the materials in stock. It also called idle resource on enterprises. So, inventory management magkuan da silang kibali ng mga stock nila, maging kumpol-kumpol da kibali ng isahon da nila yung kanilang mga stock na pag inventory da pila yung kanilang halin doonan pa na mga consequences na kanilang. So, other related function na activities involved in material management. First is standardization. Second is the simplification. Third is specification. So, the first standardization means producing maximum variety of products from the minimum variety of materials, parts, tools, and processes. It is the process of establishing standard units measured by with extent, quality, quantity, value, performance, etc. may be compared with the measure. So, ang guide ka na standard ba, ma-maximum nila yung pila kada egun yung mga products or minimum na kailangan lang i-produce within this day na or ya kanila niya establish yung kanila niya counted lang yung quality, how quantity ng isa ka product. Second is the concept of simplification. Is closely related to standardization, a process of reducing the variety of products manufactured are concerned with the reduction of product range assemblies, part of material and design. So, simplification, yung-symbolize siya ng mga gikan sang related standard na mga process na manufactured sila, and then yung kanilang product range or pag-assemble nila sa isa ka product ng materials ng mga design. Specification refers to the precise statement that formalizes the requirement of the customer. So, kailangan specific yung i-require ng isa ka customers para maging satisfied yung customer. Material planning and control. It is a scientific technique in determining in advance the requirement of raw materials, ancillary parts of the components, spares, etc. as directed by the production program. So, sa material planning control and control, isang yung ka-technique na mag-determine ng isa ka raw materials ng product na magkaroon siya ng biggest or magas na production. So, on kanan under, which is two factor. First, macro factor. Second is micro factor. Yung micro factor ko no, is yagkuan siya ng some of the micro factor which affect planning are price trends, business cycle, government, important policy, etc. Yung micro, it is the effect of materials planning, yung kuan sang pagplan nila sang price or sang pagtrending ng isa ka business o sa business cycle na on kailan na which is kailangan pala mag-under ng mga government policy and unan pangan etc. Yung pag-import ng mga unang document basta mga policies na kailangan import. Micro factors. Some of the micro factors that affect material planning are plant capacity utilization. So, ang gyud kanilan, yagbuogay sila ng capacity lang ng kanilan production, rejection rates, lead time, inventory levels, working capital, delegation of power, and communication. Purchasing. Function various A function varies with nature and size industry. In order to commit substantial portion the finance of the corporation which affect working capital and cash flow position. So, yung purchasing kuno, isa yan ka nature ng or size ng isa ka industry, dayagkuan ng mga substantial finances with the cooperation of the working capital, kailangan siya ng cash capital position. Fundamental objective purchasing. First, to maintain continuity, the supply support production schedules. So, kailangan siya mag-maintain ng continuity ng isa ka production supply and the mga schedules. To minimize investment in the store material inventory must be ensured consistent with safety and economy. So, ma-minimize natin yung pag-investment sa isa ka store and material inventory must be ensured. Kailangan na to insured gayon, sure-sure gayon na to yung kanang pag-inventory kaya ato kita makakita daw pila yung kanato halin daw pila lang yung bilin daw pila na kuman yung aon. Consistent with safety and economy. So, kailangan na to maging safety sa kanato mga economy. Next is to avoid duplication of purchase, waste, obsolescence, and costly delay. So, avoid na to pag-double ng pag-purchase, pag-sayang-sayang, tas pag-delay ng product. Maintaining proper quality standard based on the sustainability criteria. So, kailangan na to i-maintain yung criteria ng kanaton product na maging sustainable gihapon bisan pagkadaigay yung kanato i-produce. Material must be produced at lowest possible cost consistent with quality service requirement and so, yung material na to kailangan natin i-produce ng lowest possible price cost or bababa lang kundi as in bababa ay para di sa kita malugi. Then, must maintain companies competitive position in the market. So, every now and then, if on ka natin isa ka business, kailangan na to naging competitive para dili malugi yung kanaton business. Parameters of purchasing. First, right price. It is the primary concern of manufacturing organization to get an item a required price, but right price need not to be lowest price. So, yung concern ng right price, guide, dili kuno siya meaning, but right price, tama yung presyo, dili isab yung masyado babaay da yung price na kailangan na to i-purchase. Right quality. When you seek right quality, should be quality available, measurable, and understandable for the practicable. Kailangan na to maging understandable. Quality yung kanaton products. Right time. Kailangan nato ng right time between the recognition of the need in item till the item arrives and provide to you. So, kailangan nato maging gayon sang oras na kailangan natin i-produce niyan na oras, exact time. Right source. So, right source from which materials are produced should be dependable, capable supplying items, uniform quality. So, kailangan na ito maging uniform sa kanato product, supplying the equal of all the products that we produce. Right quantity. Right quantity is the most important parameter is buying. Kailangan nato ng right nato na quantity para magana yung pag-produce ng product na to, madaig gihapon yung mag-gain na or madaig gihapon yung palit ka ng mga customer tungod na magana yung quantity ng kanatong product. Right attitude. Developing right attitude to necessary is what often come across such statement. So, kailangan na madyaw yung kanatong pabatasan para tungod sian maka-purchase kita ng madyaw. Dili ang panmaglaong ka na di kita nga saan kay mara ating batas sa na masen. Then, right contacts. the buyer has adopted separate policies and procedures for capital consumer item. So, ang guide dapat na right contacts. Tama, exactly guide na pag-contact na to kay para dili magkawatak-watak, dili kita malibog dohain kita pasingod. Right material. Right type of material required for the production is an important parameter. So, isa-isa gini na important sa isa ka product. Kailangan daunan niyang i-order na anang isa ka material. Dapat ang isa maabot ka na tama yang parameters na aon. Right transaction. Right mode of transportation have been identified as this form critical segment in the cost profile of an item. So, dapat yung transportation naan is madyaw gayud ang panbili gay dapat masira or unan ba na mga consequences na on sa pag-transport ng isa ka product. Right place delivery is specifying the right place of delivery, like head office work would often minimize handling and transportation cost. So, kailangan gid na exact location, right place, tama na lugar pag delivered ng mga product na to, or proper delivery sang mga like offices and etc. Purchasing procedure. Recognition of the need. The initiation of procedure starts with recognition of the need by the needs section. So, kailangan na to i-recognize doon na yung kinahanglan pag-purchase na ito sa isa natin ka product. Selection of the supplier. The process of selection of supplier involves the two basic aspects: searching for the possible sources and shortlisting out of the identified sources. So, on kanan, sang selection sources, also selection of the supplier sources. Kay on kanan duha ka basic lang na kailangan i-identify is searching for all possible sources and shortlisting out identified source. Third, placing the order. Purchase the order in a letter sent or supplier asking the supplier and said the material. So, kailangan nato i-purchase yung isa ka supplier na mangutana kita daunan niyang ika-supply nila sang material. Follow-up order should be employed whatever the cost of the rest resulting from the delayed deliveries of the materials and greater. Generally, a routine urge is made to supplier by sending your printed cost or postcard or circular letter asking him to confirm that delivery and on the way you will be as per agreement. So, yung pag-follow up ng order, kailangan na on kanan mga agreement, i-confirm na or i-text or unan ba, i-printed card ng yan na date, kailangan exact gayud na abot yung order mo sa delivery. Tas, yung agreement agaw nila na i-confirm mo niyan na mga adlaw. Receiving and inspection of the materials. The receipt of the material is recorded, only the special design. Receiving slips or forms which also specify the name of the vendor and the purchase order number. So, basically, when we're receiving the product, kinato natin expect yung design, the uno-uno, yung ng vendor, yung i-purchase order number nato kahibasin mali, agaw di magpatanga-tanga. Payment of invoice. When the good received in satisfactory condition, the invoice check before it is approved by the payment. So, kailangan nato i-receive ng satisfactory. Maljo na kanaton condition, tas i-check yung kanato payment or approved. Maintenance of the records. It is the important part of parcel in every efficient purchase function. So, isa-isa gini importante yung pagkuha ng parcel nato. Taon no pagdaga ng isa ka parcel na ma-maintain nato yung records nato na madayaw. Maintenance the vendor relationship. key suppliers to provide platform purchase, different establish, and maintain the relation between them. So, isang isa ka supplier or isa ka vendor to consumer. Example, ako, tas on isa ka delivery boy na kailangan na maging good relation ako kanaan, madayaw yung kanak pamatasan na iatag kanaan para isab, ganahan niya, pero may mag-deliver kanak kay tungod na itarong niya ang pagtrato, idawat ng matarong, ibayada ng matarong yung i-purchase na product. Selection of supplier. Selection of the right supplier is responsibly of the purchase department. It can be contribute substantially to the functional objective of the business enterprise. So selection kayo kailangan maging responsible kita sa tanan aspects. Sources of supplier. As sources of the following when help and developing possible sources of the supplier. First, specialized trade directories. Second, access professional bodies or consultants. Buyer guide purchase handbook. So, ang kanto guide or ang kanto guide na pag-produce ng handbook. The manufacturer or distributor catalog. Ang guide kanaan kuan. Ang tawag sining madyaw na balaod. Investment and delays. Advertisement in specialized trade journals, trade fair exhibition. So, development of the frivolous supplier, a survey stage highlight existence of the source. A business inquiry is made by the appropriate suppliers. So, yung kuan lang nga sa pag-access ng sources na appropriate sa tanan mga supplier. Evaluation, selection of the supplier. Purchase, the policy and procedure differ according to the type items to be purchased. First, cost factor. Price, transportation cost, installation cost if any, tolling others operation cost, incidence of sales tax, exercise duty terms or payment and cash discount considered in a cost factor. So, amo ko naman maging considered ng cost factors. Ito, transportation, installation, tolling and covered operation cost, incidence of sales tax, exercise duty, terms payment, cash discount. Delivery, routing and FOB term are important in determining the point at which title to the goods passes from vendor to the buyer and the responsibility for payment of the payment charges. So, syempre, kinato maging responsible kita. Daw na niya kanato kailangan, daw na niya to bayadan or na niya kanato itanaw sang details ng kanato pag-order ng item. Design and specification factor. Specification complies, specification deviation, specification advantages, important dimension and weight are considered in the line with the demonstration of sample experiences of the user, other sales, services, etc. So, amo ko naman i-consider na ito sang design and specification ng mga factor. Legal factor. The legal factor include warranty, cancellation provision, patient protection, public liability, federal laws, and reputation compliance. So, kailangan nato ng mga legal factors para aon kibali tawag sining aon kibali ng value ng kanaton product, aon kanilan amanang para ma-trustworthy sila sa kanaton. Vendor's rating. Evaluation supply the vendor rating provides valuable information which help improving the quality decision. So, vendor rating, yung kanan supply sa vendor provides ng madayaw na information na maka-help ng mga madyaw na quality or quality decision. Then, capital plan. Under this method, the member of buying the staff related of the supplier receiving section quality control department, manufacturing department are required to assess performance of the suppliers. So, categorical plan, kinang mag-under examine ang kanilang proper way and how to manage the supplier receiving section, quality control, manufacturing department, ng pag-assess ng performance out and coming ng mga supplier. The waiting point method, it provides the quantitative data of each factor evaluation. So, kailangan magamit ng quantitative data para madali yung kanaton pag total ng mga factors na yung gawas ng kanaton product. Then, cost ratio plan. Under this method, the vendor is rating done on the basis various costs incurred for producing the materials from the various supplier. So, the cost ratio plan is among iniyang pag-rating ng isa ka vendor o basis aba kumbaga sinugdan daon-uno pag purchase ng vendor to the supplier.
Good day everyone. So this is the continuation of our report in chapter 4, the materials management. So by the way, my name is Era O. Plaza, the next reporter. So my topic is the special purchasing systems. So the following are some of the important purchasing systems. So the first is the forward buying or committing, which means the organization is far into the future, usually for a year. So when the system is the organization must be committed into their organization. Usually it takes a year before materialize. And then the tender buying is in public. All semblance of favoritism, personal preferences should be avoided. So in this system is dapat i-avoid itong mga personal preferences para di magka-conflict. Then the blanket or order system. So this system minimizes the administrative expense. So the system must pinagamay yung mga expenses in one organization. Then the zero stock is some firms try to operate on the basis of zero stock, and the supplier holds the stock for these firms. Then the rate contract. So in the system, rate contract is prevalent in the public sector, organization, and government departments. So the contract is makita yan sa mga other mga prevalent public sectors, most especially in the government department. Then the next is the reciprocity. So it means purchasing from one's customers preference to another, meaning mag-base sila sa mga other preferences, like nya na utaw, yang isa ka utaw is yaka tistinda sa na product. So based sa kanaan mga preferences, parang madani yang iba na mopalit siya. Then systems contract is a procedure in tender to help the buyer and the seller to reduce administrative expenses and at the same time ensure suitable controls. So meaning yung system contracts and the blanket order system is manang same na sila ng kuan kay yung mga expenses na igamit is i-minimize nila. Then the next is stores management. So stores management play a vital role in the operations of company. It is in direct touch with the user department. It is in its day-to-day activities. The most important purpose served by the stores is to provide uninterrupted service to the manufacturing divisions. So functions of stores is first is to receive raw materials, components, tools, equipments, and other items account for that firm. So, yung kanilang isa ka function is mag-receive sila ng mga materials na needed siya na organization. Then, to provide adequate and proper storage and preservation to the various items. Then, to meet the demands of the consuming department by proper issues and account for the consumption. And then, to minimize obsolescence, surplus, and scrap through proper codification, preservation, and handling. Then, to highlight stock accumulation, discrepancies, and abnormal consumption and effect countermeasures. And then the next is to ensure good housekeeping so that material handling, material preservation, stocking, reserve, and issue can be done adequately. Mataang pag-handle. Then to assist its verification and provide supporting information for effective purchase. So one of the last function of stores management is ma-assist ang mag-support yan ng information which is effective sa pag-purchase ng product. Then, codification. So, codification, it is one of the functions of stores management. Codification is a process of representing each item by a number, the digit of which indicates the group, the subgroup, the type, and dimension of the item. So, objectives of codification is to bring all items together, to enable putting up any future item in its proper place, mabutang yung mga items in a proper place, and then to classify an item according to its characteristics, then to give unique code number to each item to avoid duplication ng ambiguity, then to give a unique code number, next, to reveal excessive variety and promote standardization and variety reduction. Then, to establish a common language for the identification of an item. Then, to fix essential parameter for specifying an item. Then, to specify item as per national and international standards. So, ilahi itong mga items na for national and sa mga internationals. And then, the last is to enable data processing and analysis. So, codification also is one of the identifying its data and the analysis. And then advantage of codification is as a result of rationalized codification, many firms have reduced the number of items. It enables systematic grouping of similar items and avoids confusion caused by long description of items, since standardization of names is achieved through codification. It serves as the starting point of simplification and standardization. So yes, codification is also standard. Is the standard of one's product. Then inventory. So inventory generally refers to the materials in stock. It is also called the ideal resources of an enterprise. Inventories represent those items which are either stock for sale, or they are in the process of manufacturing, or they are in form of materials which are yet to be utilized. So reasons for keeping inventories is first, stabilized production, meaning the demand for an item fluctuates because of the number of factors. Example, seasonality, mga season lang, production schedule, and etc. Then to take advantage of price discounts. So usually the manufacturers offer discount for bulk buying, and to gain this price advantage, the materials are bought in bulk even it is not required immediately. Then the next is to meet the demand during the replenishment period. So the lead time for procurement of materials depends upon many factors like collocation of the source, demand supply conditions, and etc. Then the fourth is to prevent loose orders or sales. So in this scenario, the one who has to meet the delivery schedules at 100% service level means they cannot afford to miss the delivery schedule, which may result in loss of sales. Then the fifth is to keep pace with changing market conditions. The organization is have to anticipate the changing market sentiments, and they have to stock materials in anticipation of non-availability of materials or sudden increase in prices. So inventory control is a planned approach of determining what to order. So this is the plan, well planned siya, in which when to order and how much to order and how much to stock, so the cost associated with buying and storing are optimal without interrupting production and sales. Then there are also objectives of inventory control. So first is to ensure adequate supply of products to customers as as far as possible. So meaning i-ensure na anyang mga supply ng mga product para in the future or sa pag-process is dili siya ma-short, di ma-short yung isa ka product. And then second, to make sure that the financial investment in inventories is minimum. Example, to see that the working capital is blocked to the minimum possible extent. And then efficient purchasing, storing, consumption, and accounting for materials is an important objectives. Of course, efficient purchasing of the products is very important in all times. Then to maintain timely record of inventories of all the items and to maintain the stock within the desired limits. Then next is to ensure timely action to replenishment. Then to provide a reserved stock for variations in lead times of delivery of materials. Then to provide a scientific base for both short-term and long-term planning of materials. So meaning they also provide some short-term and long-term objectives to meet its demand. The benefits also of inventories is it is an established fact that through the practice of scientific inventory control, the following are the benefits of inventory control. So the first is improvement in customers' relationship because of the timely delivery of goods and services. So of course, if sa na time nga di ma-deliver yung isa ka services ng isa ka organization, so mas ganahan yung isa ka customers na mupalit siya ng mga products kay di ma-delay yung mga items pag maabot. Then second is smooth and uninterrupted production and hence no stock out. Then efficient utilization, yes, of working capital helps in minimizing loss due to the deterioration. Then obsolescence, damage, and filterage. Then the next is economy in purchasing. Then the fifth is eliminates the possibility of duplicate ordering. Yes. So the next one is the techniques of inventory control. So in any organization, inventory is maintained when the number of items in inventory is large, and then large amount of money is needed to create such inventory. It becomes the concern of the management to have a proper control order over its ordering, procurement, maintenance, and consumption. So there are different techniques of inventory control. These are the EBC analysis, HML analysis, VED analysis, FSN analysis, SDE analysis, GOLF or GOLF analysis, and SOS analysis. So the most widely used method of inventory control is known as EBC analysis. In these techniques, the total inventory is categorized into 3 subheads, and then proper exercise is exercised for each subheads. So, an A items. So this item is very tight control. The items being of high value, the control need to be exercised at higher level of authority. So yung A na item is ang siyaan makabutan niya mga higher level. And then the B item is moderate control. The items being of moderate value, the control need to be exercised at the middle of the authority. So yung B is at the middle yan, at the center point yan. And the C item is the items being of low value. Respective user department managers can exercise the control of those what level of authority. So meaning the C item is ato yan sa pinakababa nakabutang. And then the price of the items, so HML analysis, next yan sang ABC analysis. So in this analysis, the classification of existing inventory is based on unit. So by unit siya. Then the price of the items, so they are classified as high price, medium price, and low cost items. So the VED analysis, in this analysis, the classification of existing inventory is based on criticality of the items. They are classified as a vital, essential, and desirable items. It is mainly used in spare parts inventory. The F is in analysis. So in this analysis, the classification of existing inventory is based consumption of the item. So based yan sa mga consume ng pilak items. So they are classified as fast moving, slow moving, and non-moving items. So the SDE analysis. In this analysis, the classification of existing inventory is based on items. So yakabis lang siya sang kuan na items. The GOLF analysis. In this analysis it is one of the classification of existing inventory. It is based on source of the item. They are classified as government supply, ordinary available, local availability, and source of foreign supply items. So it based in the internationally. So the SOS analysis, so the last mini. In this analysis, the classification of existing inventory is based on nature of surplus. Supply items. They are classified as seasonal and off-seasonal items. So meaning yakadepende sa demand ng isa ka items in every season. And then inventory model. Inventory model is dealt with idle resources like men, workers, machineries, money, and materials. These models are concerned with two decisions: how much to order or purchase or produce, and when to order so as to minimize the total cost. So economic order quality can be determined by two methods. There are two methods. So the first is the tabulation method. Second is the algebraic method. So determine of EOQ by tabulation or trial and error method. This method involves the following steps. So the first is select the number or the possible lot size to purchase. So you can select number and its sizes. Then determine average inventory carrying cost for the lot purchase. Then determine the total ordering cost for the orders placed. Then determine the total cost for each lot size, choosing which the summation of inventory this carrying cost and ordering cost. Then the last is select the ordering quantity, which minimizes the total cost. So the determination of EOQ by analytical method, in order to derive an economic lot size formula, following assumptions are made. Right. Then first is demand is known and uniform. So meaning the demand of the one product is known to the consumer. And also, wagid saan malahi dapat always silang same ng quality. Then lit D denotes the total number of units purchased, produced, and Q denotes the lot size in each production run. And the third is shortages are not permitted. Example, as soon as the level of the inventory reaches 0, the inventory is replenished. Then production or supplies commodity is instantaneous. Then lead time is 0. Then setup cost per production run or procurement cost is C3. Then inventory carrying cost is C1 is equal to C1, where C is unit cost and 1 is called inventory carrying cost, expressed as percentage of the value of the average inventory. The next is standardization. So it means producing maximum variety of products from the minimum variety of materials, parts, tools, and process. It is the process of establishing standards or unit of. So the standardization is meaning it means how the standards of or the variety of the products is established. Then measure by which extent quality, quantity, value, performance, etc. may be compared and measured. Then advantage of standardization, as all the sections of company will be benefited, so there are always benefits to them from as mentioned below. Then benefits design department, if fewer specifications or drawing and part list have to prepare an issue. So so the second is more time is available to develop new design or to improve established design. And the third is better sources alteration. Then 4 is less qualified personnel can handle routine design work. So that's my report. This is the end of my report. So Melvin Ayuban will continue the other slides. So thank you for listening.
Good evening, sir, and good evening, classmate. And this is the continuation of the Group 2 reporting, and the title is Material Management. From now on, I will discuss any kind of benefits of any organization. First, benefit of manufacturing department. First is lower unit cost. When we say lower unit cost, kibali magamay lang yung kanilang gasto, pero okay ang kanan kuan. Gamay lang yung gasto nila. Second is better quality product. Although gamay yung gasto nila, pero good quality sila, manang pasok sa standard ng kuan sa standard yung kanilang product. Third is better method and tolling. Better methods and tolling. Bali, yung mga pamaagi, mapadali lang. Mapadali lang yung imbis na kung malisod yung mas okay yung mga ano yun kibali aman semi arrangement ba mabit yung kanilang pamaagi nila sa kanilang department. Fourth is increasing changes ability of part. Kibali man ang mutaas yung kanilang mo increase kibali yung kanilang kuan yung mga ma-increase yung mga changes yung mga changes gud nila para sa kanilang business organization rather. Better utilization of manpower. Number 5, mas better kuno yung mga utilization na kinahanglan ng mga dili porket kay equipment nila or mga machine equipment dili sila magkinahanglan ng tao. Mas better gid kung mga utaw na kanilang kinahanglan para para malimpyo yung trabaho. Accurate deliver date. Pag mga order like para sa nga example Shopee, pag yan deadline gayud maglang na kisom yung deadline ng kan order o just yan gid yan sana time para kibali yung customer maagni lang uy madali ka di yung kanilang proseso nga to kita kanilang o mas yan. Number 7, better service of product control stock production control, stock control, and purchasing, etc. Yung better service, kibali aman ng mas madali yung kanilang proseso. Like, yung mga proseso nila sa mga item na ikinahanglan. Kay kung mga consumer yung ginahanglan si andayon o din kanan mahatag tungod na mas madali yung kanilang pag process. Number 8, more effective trainings. Yan di gid magkawa sa tanan organization or any kind of business kay kung man good kung mga kibali new employee or employer brad o masinan basta kuan mga trabahante mas madali agad humaagi ng proseso dili kay porket kay yan kay anad nga tupikas among trabaho ng tupikas dili kay agi ng proseso dili kinahanglan ng training dili mas much better kung mas on the experience nandaan tas kinahanglan pa ng training o di ba madali din ang ma-learn dili din ang matigaman yung mga kinahanglan na trabaho unon. Benefit of marketing department. First is better quality product, proven design and reasonable cost lead by greater sales and volume. The better quality maglang kita better quality mas okay mas comfortable gid yung company siya na product mo or mas gamay lang yang kan mo gasto or bagas man at least proven and tested yung design mo sa mga sa mga level mo mas unan hain mo yung butangan at least kibali approval para niya na kinahanglan nila niya na design mo tungod na iganahan sila then mapadaig isabi ang mga babaligya mo siyan tungod siyan increase margin profit o mas mataas diba increase mo taas sabihan kan mo income better product deliver. O siyan na way yan mga kabalin na mapamaagi better product. O mas okay yung mga deliver mo kabali kung ma-deliver mo in time, ganahan yung mga customer mo, sangkan mo yung company. Easy availability to sales product. O mas yan ang yan doon ang ka problema sa mga company mo nang yan yung problema, hindi mapadali da pag resolve tungod na mapalit lang sang any kind of sales spark or any kind of convenience like basta akuan mga equipment na doon na yung doubt sang kan mo yung problema sang kan mo business. Less sales pressure of after sales service. Less sales for me kung baba man yung mabaligya mo kibali, at least dili ko mo ng pressure kibali sangkan mo after ko kan mo pag sa mga serbisyo mo. Excuse me. Benefits of production planning department. Scope improving method, process and layout. Inalam na improve mayo yung kamayo iplano like kung ano man galing plano ng lain na kagrupo, dapat ma-share mayo yung mga knowledge mayo para magkatabang-tabang mayo para dili kibali magkayagaw yung kamayo grupo. Opportunities to mean efficient or tool design, a better source allocation and reduction in prepare production activities, mapadali mabawasan kibali yung kamayo yung kamayo problema kung magkatabang-tabang para mapadali yung kamayo pagsabutan daon na yung kamayo himuon sa kamayo business. Benefit production control design, same the sang will provide proven design and method to provide prove planning and control. Diba kinahanglan ma-prove nila yung design nila yung kanilang pamaagi para sa kanilang mga business. Accurate deliver promises, kung mag-deliver man galing, kung maglaong yung delivery nga na ay maglaong yang ikaw na mag-deliver, maglaong ko June 1 or July ka June 1 July 1 July 1 kinahanglan yung date na ilaong mo, kinahanglan tuman gadyan. Third, few delay arise from the waiting of materials tools. Kung man mga ma-delay dapat mapasabot mo sila na sa delay yang kan mo tungod siguro na ang mga diferensya sang materials tools etc. Follow-up of small branch of customer list time. Kinahanglan ma-follow up mo kung ang mga branches mo sang lain na lugar, kinahanglan ma-follow up mo yan para sang yung kibali dili man mabagas yung mga oras ba, yung oras na magasto mo kibali kinahanglan gamay nya manang list lang yung gasto mo na time para sangkan mo mga other business. Benefit purchase stock control department like this holding the stock standard item leads less paperwork and fewer na requisition and order. Diba maglang na hold, diba kinahanglan gyud yan ampingan kung adi iyan kan mo na yung stock mo adi pasang adi pa ka TL o other dahon mo bagangga, kinahanglan yung mga item yan gyud yan sa mga okay na pagka plaster para pag abot din sa kang deliveran plastado. Storage and part location can be improved. Newer techniques can be used to better control to stock because the largest purchase qualities and bold favorable purchase contact can be made it. Benefit qualities control department, better inspection and quality control possible. Quality standard can be defined more clearly. Operator become familiar with the work and produce jobs can consistent quality. Better inspection, di ba mas di yung kung kuan man galing daig mga product mayo dapat ginatanaw gid yan sang kuan manager, gina-check ba para uy ungini problema sini kinahanglan niya hindi ma-deliver, kinahanglan niya tanggalon sang list o tanggalon kay kita naon depekto naon problema para pag abot sang lain na company o lain na lugar dili ka sawayan niya kan mo product. Other benefits work study section and benefit with the efficient breakdown to operation and effective work measurement. Costing can obtain better control in installing standard costing. More time available to the supervisor to make useful records and preserve statistics. Reduce reductions and scrap. Help supervisors to run in department efficiently and effectively. Disadvantage of standards. Following are the disadvantage of standards. Reduce in choose because of reduced variety and consequently loss of business of cost or customer. First ang disadvantage, reduction kada. So maglang na reduce kibali tungod siyang kanilang standard na ibalaod sa kanilang company, medyo ang kanilang kibali mo kay tao na disadvantage ba ang kanilang kalugian gamay ang kibaling problema na tungod sa pagpalo ng rules and standards ng kanilang company. Daig yang ama ng kung gusto mo kaon pa opinion mo dili mo mahimo tungod na ang standard mayo kinahanglan masunod niyan amo yung isa ka problema ng company na dili kibali mag-collab yung kanilang matag membro. Standard one set change can do standardization may become an obstacle progress. Simplification. The principle of standardization is closely related of that of simplification. The term of simplification refers to the method to reducing complexity, reducing the number of the goods generate. The term simplification refers to the method of reducing complexity, product selection, assemblies, part materials, and design are all factors to consider. Advantage of simplification. The following advantages: simplification involves fewer part, variety of chance products, and reduced manufacturing operation and risk of obsolescence. Diba? Ang Japon mga yung kung ano disadvantage, ano sa advantage nila? Yung advantage nila kay kuan ko no. Mapadali yung trabaho nila kung sa una kinahanglan gayud ng utaw man to man gayud na trabaho. Doon di da kinahanglan nila ng man to man na trabaho tungod na only kanilang mga equipment na niyan makahimo da siya doon lang ka program lang himuunan pero kinahanglan gyapon ng manpower guide gidaon gyapon mga auto nag-guide para okay ang kanilang proseso. Simplification reduces the volume of remaining product may be increased mapareduce yung mga trabahante, pero madaig yung kanilang volume yung product na ma-increase nila, times 2 kibalik. Simplification provide quickly deliver and better after sales service. Simplification reduce inventory those results in better inventory control. Simplification lower and product cost. Simplification reduce price of the product. Simplification provides product quality. Gamay lang yung kanilang kibali. Kung ang kapag lower the product cost, yung gamay lang yung abot nila, ang sabihin mo reduce sabihin kanilang price tungod kibali ng kadaig ma-improve education, improve product, aprobado gihapon yung quality ng product na manang good quality gihapon kay value analysis. According to Lawrence D. Miles was responsible to creating the name of value engineering, also known as value analysis during World War II. Value analysis described as an organized, creative approach with the goal efficiently identifying unnecessary costs that provide neither quality, huge life appearance, or customer features. Value analysis framework. The basic framework of value analysis approach informed by following question as given by Lawrence D. Miles. First, what is the term? What does it cost? What else would be the job? Would do the job? What would the alternative cost be? Value chain analysis required questions and answers and success implementation of the technique. Step of value analysis. In order to answer the above question, 3 basic steps are necessary. First, identifying the function. Second, evaluation. Third, develop an alternative. Simply identifying the function. Any useful production has some function which must be identified. A bulb of give light and refrigerator to preserve food, etc. And additional secondary function such as with standing stock, etc. These two must be identified. Second, evaluation of the function and comparison. Value being a relative terms and comparison approach must be used to evaluate functions. The basic questions is does the function accomplish reliability at the best cost can be answered the only comparison. Third, develop alternative realistic situation must be faced. Objection should overcome the effective engineering, manufacturing, and other alternatives must be in order. Develop effective alternatives and identify unnecessary costs. The following 13 value analysis principles must be used. First, avoid generalities. Second, get all available costs. Third, use information only from the best source. Fourth, brainstorming session. 5. Last, create and refine. 6. Identify and overcome roadblock. 7. Use an industry specialized to extended specialized knowledge. Key tolerance to light. 9. Utilize the P for vendors skills technique. 10. Utilize vendors ability function product. utilize efficient product, utilize applicable standard, use the question, would I spend my money this way? Economic human engineering. The word economics comes from the Greek word ergon, which the main law, and omics, which means science. As a result, in an analysis on the man in relation to the work, it is known as human engineering or human factors engineering in the United States and other nations. Objectives of human engineering: to enhance an effective efficiency and effectiveness with which the alternative work in carried out, so as the increase in convenience of use, reduce error, and increase productivity. Second, to enhance certain desirable human values including safety, reduce stress and fatigue, and improve quality in life. Just in time or GIT manufacturing. Just in time or GIT manufacturing is more the theory than a process. It aims to create a manufacturing system that refund of consumer demand and removing all waste and pursue quality of improvement. 7 ways. Shingo is a Japanese GIT authority, the engineering of Toyota Motor Company, identifies 7 ways as being a target of continuous improvement of production process by attempting of the ways in improvement is achieved. First ways. The ways of overproduction eliminate the reducing setup of synchronized qualities and timing between process layout problem. O diba? Ang kibali mga production eliminate nila para sa mga kung ang mga problema sa mga layout, ang kibalikan nila set up para sa mga problema. Ways of waiting eliminate bottleneck of balance, uneven load of flexible work force and equipment. Ways of waiting kibali ang kanilang balance kibali kung flexible man kanan yung workforce kibali ang kanila yung mga kung mga equipment. Waste transportation, establish layout and location, outbid handling and transport unnecessary is possible. Minimize transportation and handling if not possible to eliminate. Waste processing is in itself a question regarding the risk and in existence of the product which process is necessary, which stock reducing, etc. Benefit of GIT. It almost significant benefit of proven and responsiveness of the firm to the change in the marketplace. Those prove an advantage in competition. Following are the benefits of GIT: product cost, quality, design, productivity, high product system flexibility, administrative and easy and simplify. When we say product cost, is generally reduced to do or reduction, manufacturing cycle time and production. Reduction. The waste of inventories and elimination is non-value add operation. Quality is improved because of the uh, continuous quality improvement programs designed due to the past response engineering change. Alternative design can be quickly brought on the shop floor. And that's all, sir, and thank you.